So I'm still thinking about those Kingdom Hearts 4 PR screenshots. I think they were PR screenshots. And there's one of those screenshots where I'm curious as to how the actual thing in the picture could work, or better yet, is there actually a drawback to using it? Welcome back, y'all. This is your girl Empowered News, and today we're going to dive into one of the new Kingdom Hearts 4 screenshots and what exactly it could mean. The Win phone, well, it's a rotary phone, but among the Kingdom Hearts community, we're pretty sure it's the Win phone. We do know what the Win phone means, but what could it mean for Sora and all his friends in this world of Kingdom Hearts? So, in case you don't know, the Win phone is an unconnected telephone booth, specifically in Otsuchi, Iwate Prefecture, Japan. The intended purpose of the Win phone is holding a space for people to hold one-way conversations with their deceased loved ones. The official Win phone booth that's in Japan does have a rotary phone as the unconnected phone. So that's very likely why to so many within the Kingdom Hearts fandom that the random phone we saw in those screenshots was supposed to basically be the Kingdom Hearts version of the Win phone. And since the official Win phone is in Japan, that makes all the more sense since at least part of Quadratum is modeled after Shibuya Crossing Japan. So this version of the Win phone might work in the opposite direction where those on the side of the deceased are actually using the Win phone to talk to those who are on the side of the living. Which leads right into this question of who would actually use the Win phone. And since this is the first time we've ever seen it, I'm assuming that the Win phone will be located somewhere in Quadratum. This leads me to believe that this is something that maybe Strelitzia introduced Sora to, so perhaps Sora might be using it to leave messages in some form or fashion for his friends. And I say in some form or fashion because we already know from Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory that Sora's spirit can apparently reach Kairi, at least while she's asleep, but his voice could not reach the realm that she was in. So perhaps Sora's messages come through to his friends via another path, and I'm thinking that path is through dreams. And if Strelitzia did introduce Sora to the Win phone, then she might know about its purpose and maybe, at least at one point, also used it to send messages to Lorium. However, I am thinking of another scenario where the phone is in Quadratum, but maybe it's on Riku and Yuzora's side of Quadratum. So that would mean that the person most likely using the Win phone, at least at first, could actually be Yuzora to send messages. This could be the case if the Win phone was basically used for its intended purpose, to where one on the side of the living used it to send messages to their deceased. But I think if Sora is the one using the Win phone, which would be the most likely scenario, then my first thought is that he'd be trying to reach Kairi and or Riku. Actually, it could be the case that while Sora's voice can't reach those in the realm of light, Sora could reach his friends in the realm of sleep, and specifically the realm of dreams. Perhaps the Win phone was how Sora reached Kairi in Melody of Memory in her dreams, and it was also why Riku had a dream that pointed him to Quadratum. As far as whether Sora would try to contact Donald and Goofy, it's definitely possible. They are basically his road trip / world trip besties, but at the same time, I'm just not sure if they would be his first choice to contact. If we're supposed to see Sora use a Win phone, especially for the first time, my guess would be that we'd see the connection between Sora using the Win phone and either Kairi or Riku receiving the messages through their dreams. That said, though, I can definitely see Sora using the Win phone at some point to eventually send a message to Donald, Goofy, and even King Mickey. And if it is also the case that Strelitzia did use the Win phone at one point, then it's very likely that she would be using the Win phone to send Lorium messages through his dreams. However, if my necklace theory does hold up, and you should watch that video after this one, but if my necklace theory does hold up, then I think that Strelitzia may have started using the Win phone when she maybe first appeared in Quadratum, if that is actually Strelitzia and not the data representation of Strelitzia that it's in a vessel. But if that actually is some form of Strelitzia's spirit, then Strelitzia at one point early on did use the Win phone to send Lorium these messages through his dreams, likely before he ever became a nobody, once he ran into Xehanort, or I guess at this point Xemnas. But at some point in between him running into Xehanort / Xemnas and becoming Marluxia, it could be the case that maybe Strelitzia slowly started to wean off the Win phone. So if we go a little bit further, if the Win phone is on the side of the deceased or assumed deceased, then perhaps using this wind phone maybe one too many times will result in the ones on the side of the sea, so Sora and Strelitzia, perhaps weakening that connection they had with their loved ones who were still on the side of the living, because there might be something there about how the overuse or over-reliance on this wind phone may strip the natural connection that those on the side of the deceased might have had with their loved ones who are still on the side of the living. But if this wind phone were to be used on the side of the living, in other words, on the side that Yuzora and now Riku are on, then we're probably seeing Yuzora using this phone to probably send messages to the nameless star in this case. Although I do feel more strongly that the wind phone's on the side of the deceased, so Sora and Strelitzia's side, primarily because when we saw the nameless star in Kingdom Hearts 3 and Kingdom Hearts Melody and Memory, she seemed to have alluded to the fact that Yuzora doesn't necessarily remember her or know where she even is. So I think this was definitely an interesting addition to add to Kingdom Hearts 4, but in a really good way. One, because it expands people's knowledge about Japanese culture in general and the lore of the original wind phone itself, but also because I think it's a good way to open up the conversation of what it really means to be beyond the veil, so be on the side of death, as opposed to not being beyond the veil and being on this side of life. Also, whether or not there is this sense of purgatory that exists, at least in the Kingdom Hearts world. Also, I'm going to add right here that I did post a poll in the community tab on this channel asking what all you guys would like to see next after this video for sure, and maybe one more cultural duality video. So if you would go and respond to that or vote, I would highly appreciate it. But I want to hear from you, so let me know what you think about the wind phone in the comments below. If you want to explore some more Kingdom Hearts theories, I'll be linking another Kingdom Hearts theory video here in the end screen. And as always, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to this channel if you enjoyed this video and want to watch more Kingdom Hearts content. And if there's anyone who may have questions about what to expect for the upcoming Kingdom Hearts game, be sure to share this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.